Well, good morning. My name's John Wyffels, and I'm the president of Wyffels Hybrids, but I haven't always been. I earned my first paycheck from Wyffels in 1994 for $4.75 an hour. I believe my fifth or sixth job at the company was to run our burn barrel. I'm glad this is an ag breakfast, and that I don't have to explain to anybody in the room what the burn barrel means. I used to stack pallets by hand, and as an organization, since then, we've invested significantly to take ergonomic risk out of the business and, frankly, to be able to keep up with the growth of the organization. So, today, all of our seed is stacked with palletizers. We can do 25,000 bags or more in a day. Some time has passed, admittedly, since then. But I think one of the things we've done well as a brand is to continue to honor the why we are in this business, but not be afraid to challenge the how we do things differently. So during my time with you today, I'd like to share with you a story, an unlikely story. An unlikely story as it is true. Wyffels is one of the top 3 seed corn brands in the Central Corn Belt. But we are the only one that is family owned, that has tripled in size over the last 10 years, and frankly, the only one that is building it while others are buying it. Today I think about the fact that I represent 230 full-time employees and over 600 seed reps, dealers that represent the Wyffels brand. And that's really personal for me. And I'd like to share with you how I believe we're making a positive impact for more than 10,000 American farm families, but also in the local communities in Iowa and further afield. Whether that be through things like scholarships for the next generation of growers or family farmers, supporting great organizations like Farm Rescue that help families in need, or supporting organizations like Homes for Our Troops that support wounded warriors as they return to the U.S. I may be slightly biased, but I believe the seed business is awesome. There are lots of inputs that go into raising a crop, but there's nothing that is more impactful than seed. And so as a result, in the 1970s, there were over 500 seed companies operating in the U.S. In fact, there were 3 in Geneseo, Illinois alone. Today, close to 400 of those brands have been retired, and corn growers have about 100 different seed brands that they can choose from. For a long time, there's been a fixed number of corn acres in the U.S., about 90 million corn acres, plus or minus a few million every year. The competitive rivalry among those 100 seed brands is fierce. But even with this backdrop, at Wyffels, we're looking to buck the trend and to continue to grow our business. One of the things that I think is really important for folks to understand about the Wyffels brand is, what do we stand for as an organization? How do we hire people? How do we make decisions? And so this is our list of purpose and values that, quite frankly, were established by my grandparents close to 80 years ago. And I love the fact that this purpose and that these values are enduring. This is one of the things that is most important, that when we sit down and we talk to an employee, we want to make sure that they understand this is what this brand stands for. This is what you're joining. And I think it has really been part of our success over years to have strong alignment with our people, and frankly leads to way better retention across time as we're very well connected on what we stand for and how we prioritize decision making. So there's a few different eras that I think the company has been through across our 80-year history. And so nothing is more important than, frankly, the starting of the business in 1946. My grandfather is in the upper left-hand picture on the far right of that page, standing in a field of oats. He started a family seed business on his family farm with my grandmother, Alma, in Atkinson, Illinois. My grandfather was a grade school dropout, and he fell in love with the high school salutatorian. They married, settled on a 160-acre farm 6 miles north of Atkinson, and they raised 6 kids. They farmed and were very involved in their community. They established our purpose and values, and that is a legacy for them in terms of the foundation of the culture that the company operates with today, and it has absolutely transcended generations. From the 1940s into the 1950s, Wyffels transitions out of seed oats and places more focus and emphasis on corn. My grandfather sold 25 bags of corn to 8 different farmers in 1953. And for the next 20 years, the business was truly a mom and pop operation. About 20 years later, in the 1970s, the family was selling about 2,000 units of seed. We have seed reps and dealers today that sell between 5,000 and 10,000 units of seed, just to give you a little bit of perspective. So very much still a fledgling business. But in 1973, Wyffels launched a product known as W26. And that hybrid was 5 to 10 bushels better than anything else available at the time. It really was an opportunity for Wyffels to be put on the map. But somewhat interestingly, in 1974, at 66 years, my grandfather unexpectedly and suddenly passed away. So on the home farm, my dad is 26 years old. His brother's 19, going to school at the University of Illinois. And Christmas is interesting that year. There is a pretty intense discussion over, as a family, how do we go forward, right? We've got a seed business that is just trying to get off the ground, but not really successful yet. We've got the family farming operation, row crops, livestock. Pretty clear we can't do everything. So which path do we go down? And my father and my uncle decide to pursue the seed business. They really, in my opinion, in the 1970s, make 3 decisions that are really instrumental and critical for the success of the company. First and foremost, they started dealer organization. At Wyffels, we have over 600 seed reps today. But in the 1970s, they hired 13 dealers initially to go out and represent the brand, pull onto farms, explain to people what Wyffels stood for, share with them the products and information behind those products to make those decisions, but really extending the family brand, extending the reach, right, further into the countryside. They also hired 3 district sales managers to partner with and to work with those dealers to build a sales organization. And then in the 1970s, they acquired about 20 acres in Atkinson to build a seed plant, which is the picture on the lower right-hand corner there. And that seed plant at the time was designed to be able to produce about 150,000 units of corn. You have a picture of the early sales geography as well in terms of where those first 3 DSMs were hired, and then over the next succeeding years, the sales organization has grown from 3 DSMs to eventually 8. I think the big takeaway is that in the 1970s, Wyffels is establishing a playbook of how they are going to win in the seed business. So fast forward to today, Wyffels is a powerhouse in the Central Corn Belt. As I mentioned, we have 600 dealers, 85 district sales managers covering the geography in the lower left-hand corner of the slide here. We also have a intense research program where we are planting close to 70 locations across that geography to better understand how do products perform, to give our customers guidance on how to manage them throughout the season. And then every January, as we release new products to the sales organization, we have a sense for which products we would like to advance further into the pipeline. We also have a picture of the seed plant in Atkinson, which has well surpassed 150,000 bushels to now closer to more than 1 million today. And then finally, our marketing team, in my opinion, does as good a job as anyone in building the brand identity for Wyffels and bringing awareness to more corn growers in the countryside. This is an exciting picture for this room. This is the groundbreaking that we did in April of 2023. And then you can see the picture on the right of the new facility that our team opened July last year. As you can expect, this was not an easy decision for the Wyffels family. We have a seed production facility in Atkinson, Illinois. We have a research station and office in Geneseo. Those are the only two locations for our business. They're within a 10 to 15 minute drive of where the family was founded. And frankly, I can get to both locations in a day and see the team as I wish. And so, I think we had to face a really interesting challenge here in the last 5 to 10 years over, who do we want to be? What do we want to be when we grow up, right? And so as we decided we want to continue to grow this business and we need to get closer to the customers that we're serving on that map, it became very clear that we needed to build an operation, a business west of us. And I think as we started to sort through that decision-making process, Ames in this geography rose to the top pretty quickly for our business for a variety of reasons. Number one, in my mind, our business has always started with the customer. And so as we thought about where should we locate this next business, we focused really on this part of the world, right? In terms of accessing Western Iowa, parts of South Dakota, Minnesota. So Ames absolutely gets us at least 3 hours closer to our customers. We also felt like this was a great opportunity for us to de-risk some of our seed production. So a lot of our seed production is done in Illinois today. There's a lot of great seed acres in Iowa, and so an opportunity to gain better geographic exposure, weather exposure as we continue to build supply for our customers. We saw an awesome opportunity to continue to collaborate. You think about the local institutions here, whether it's Iowa State, DMAC, the ability to collaborate with them on a lot of the things that we're working on was very exciting for our brand. Additional opportunity to access talent for the future as we grow our business was part of our decision-making process. And then I think finally, as a generational business that expects to be here for generations to come, we were excited about joining a vibrant, growing community in Ames. So let's talk a little bit about where we're going. For me personally, I'm super excited, super motivated to see us celebrate 100 years of business in 2046. So crystal ball for a moment, right? Let's talk through what does the Wyffels business look like? What do we continue to prioritize and focus on for the next 20 years? I think a lot of the things on this page are, in my mind, some of the things that we should be focused on. So continuing to prioritize our customer obsession. We're only going to be successful as we win with people. For a long time, this brand has been performance-driven, focused on researching new technologies in corn production and really sorting out what makes a difference, what can add value to a grower's operation, and frankly, letting everything else go. This business has been on a growth trajectory over the last 79 years. It's something that we will continue to emphasize. And then finally, success for me in 2046, we're absolutely, proudly family-owned. This is how our team, how our organization defines success today. First and foremost, we're looking to earn the go-to position with our customers. We're building a team of people that are focused on high performance and developing themselves. We're looking to build a better business every single day. And when we are successful, we must continue to reinvest to continue to drive growth for the company as we go forward. I believe when we do these 4 things well, we will continue to grow. I talked a little bit about performance and being a performance-driven company. If you sit down with a corn grower today, when they think about buying seed, the number 1 criteria that they go to is performance, right? What are the products, what are the hybrids that are going to perform consistently on my farm? What are the products that are going to help me be more successful 12 months from now? And so this is the mission, this is the purpose of our research organization, right? We've got a team that's out in the field. We'll be going to planting here in the next 30 days, and they'll be in those fields all season long. They'll harvest them come September, October, and then they will pour through the data to decide what are the products we're going to continue to advance in our pipeline, what are the products we're going to commercialize a year from now. As a brand, we sell more first-year products than anybody else in the industry. And for perspective, somewhere between 20 and 30% of our sales are brand new products. And it speaks to the line on this page and continuing to drive yield for our growers year after year. This illustrates the growth of the company over the last 79 years. And I think one of the probably takeaways for me on this slide is that it hasn't always been an upward trajectory, right? There have been challenging times that we have persevered through as a brand. And again, I think that speaks to one of our values to say, yep, this is a challenging period. We're going to work hard to turn it around and to continue to grow the business. So there have been some real important moments across time. I talked about my grandfather's passing unexpectedly in 1974 that really caused the family to double down and say, are we going to take this business seriously or not? And if we are, we're going to have to invest in a significant way. We're going to have to hire people, we're going to build a sales organization, and we're going to build supply chains so we can supply the products to our customers. In the mid-90s, there was a period of time where biotech was introduced to the seed industry, herbicide-resistant hybrids, insect-resistant crops. And that was a period of challenge for a lot of family seed companies in terms of, are we able to deliver this technology to the farm or not? Wyffels got equipped, they delivered it, and they found some growth through that period of time. Then I think come late 2009, 2010, the organization made a very intentional decision to say, we need to grow this business to continue to be relevant. And so as a result, you can see some of the payoff over the last 10 to 12 years as we made an investment in people, production, research, to continue to deliver outstanding products to our customers. We are a family business after all. I'm a member of the 3rd generation of the Wyffels family, but there are 6 under 5 in the 4th generation. We are busy at the moment, not only building and growing a business, but hopefully raising the next generation that can steward this business for the future. So for me personally, as a father and as a leader of the organization, this is the filter that I have as I think through decisions in terms of how are we making the right decisions for 10, 20 years from now to continue to keep this up. I think another important piece of our future is what does the business look like in Ames, Iowa? And so if you drive to 220 Teller today, what you'll see is a warehouse that has storage for about 500,000 units of corn, climate controlled, and we also have packaging capabilities as we return seed from farms after planting this spring. But we are excited about the future. And we dream about the future, right? I don't think unless you have a vision or you're dreaming about where you want to go that you'll ever get there. So that's a little bit of the illustration on the screen here is what do we think things could look like in 10 years, right? So for those that are less familiar, this illustration has things like husk and sort operations, drying capabilities, shelling, conditioning, packaging of 1 million units of corn. essentially the same kind of volume that we can do in Atkinson, Illinois today. I think in addition to that, we're excited about the opportunity to continue to do research, to have agronomic trials that will be planted there this spring at this location. To be able to share that with our customers that are interested in not just seed, but what are the agronomic practices I need to be incorporating into my operation to be more successful. Finally, I think Ames represents an opportunity for us to continue to hire talent to support the broader business. Right? You think about capabilities like finance, IT, HR, customer support. I absolutely view this location as an opportunity for us to be able to offer those kinds of capabilities. And so this is just a tremendously exciting piece for us in the future. So I expect one of the questions may be when, right? When are you going to get after this? The sooner your friends and family are planting Wyffels on their farms, the sooner we can get after this, right? So I shared with you that our marketing team has really carved out a little bit of our brand identity, and sometimes we like to describe it as a wholly owned subsidiary of nobody. We also like to offer growers the opportunity to plant their independence. So many of you are familiar with the Stars and Stripes. This is our version of the Seeds and Tear Strips. Just a really, I think, creative group that we've got that are continuing to build the Wyffels brand in the countryside.